Hello everybody. In this section of the lecture, we'll continue our subject refrigeration and air conditioning. In this part, we'll discuss about the isentropic efficiency of the compressor and isentropic efficiency of the turbine of a reversed Brayton cycle. Why we are dealing with isentropic efficiency? Because there are some losses related to the compressor and expander, especially frictional losses, as both are moving parts. So there are some frictional losses which makes the process irreversible. So there is some entropy generation within the processes. So as we have assumed while deriving the COP of reverse Brayton cycle that both the processes of compressor and turbine are isentropic, but actually they are not isentropic. There are some little bit of entropy generation within the processes, so it makes it irreversible. Then we'll define heat rejection ratio, and later we'll solve some numerical problems related to COP and reverse Brayton cycle. So let's begin. Isentropic efficiency of compressor and expander. As we have discussed that compressor and expander are the two work absorbing and work producing devices in a air refrigeration cycle. So as both of them are moving parts, moving devices, so there are some frictional losses associated with compressor as well as expander. These frictional losses makes the process irreversible. So there is an entropy generation in both the processes, compressor and expander. So what is isentropic efficiency of compressor? Isentropic efficiency of compressor is defined as the ratio of ideal enthalpy rise to that of the actual enthalpy rise. So if we analyze the TS diagram, 1 to 2 is the compressor process. This path is isentropic. Here, while deriving the COP, we have assumed that the process is isentropic. That is, entropy at point 1 is equal to entropy at point 2. S1 is equals to S2. But in actual practice, there is an entropy rise. So instead of following the ideal path, the actual path will be in this way. This is point 2 dash. So there is an entropy rise in moving from point 1 to point 2. Hence it is denoted by a dotted line which shows that this process is irreversible process, as isentropic process is reversible adiabatic, but 1 to 2 dash is irreversible process. Similarly, isentropic efficiency of expander or turbine is defined as the ratio of actual enthalpy drop to that of the ideal enthalpy drop. Similarly, expander has also some frictional losses. This expander process is also isentropic. This is the ideal path, but in actual practice there is a deviation, or we can say that there is an increase in entropy during the process 3 to 4. So it follows this actual path. Now isentropic efficiency of compressor, it is defined as ideal enthalpy rise to that of the actual enthalpy rise. From point 1 to 2, this 1 to 2 is ideal path and 1 to 2 dash is the actual path. So ideal enthalpy rise to that of the actual enthalpy rise is given as H2 minus H1 divided by, this is ideal enthalpy rise, divided by H2 dash minus H1. As air is the working medium and air is a ideal gas, so we can apply the ideal gas equation. So in terms of enthalpy, I can replace it as specific heat into temperature. So specific heat taking common, Cp into T2 minus T1, Cp into T2 dash minus T1. So as both this compressor is handling same gaseous form, so Cp and Cp gets cancelled. So isentropic efficiency will be equal to T2 minus T1 divided by T2 dash minus T1. This is the formula for isentropic efficiency of a compressor. Similarly, isentropic efficiency of turbine or expander is equals to, it is defined as the ratio of actual enthalpy drop to that of the ideal enthalpy drop. Now actual path is 3 to 4 dash, so it will be S3 minus H4 dash to the it is the ratio of actual enthalpy drop to that of the ideal enthalpy drop. So ideal path is 3 to 4, so H3 minus H4 will be your ideal enthalpy drop. So Cp taking common, it will be T3 minus T4 dash divided by Cp T3 minus T4. Cp gets cancelled, it will be T3 minus T4 dash divided by T3 minus T4. These are the two formulas for isentropic efficiency of compressor and isentropic efficiency of expander. Next, I will give an definition of heat rejection ratio. So, heat rejection ratio, it is defined as the ratio of heat rejected across the condenser to the refrigerating effect. The value of heat rejection ratio is always greater than 1. If the value of heat rejection ratio is equals to 1, then it will violate our Clausius statement. So heat rejection ratio can be equal to Qc by Re. Qc is the heat rejected across the condenser divided by refrigeration effect. There is another formula for heat rejection ratio, that is equals to 1 plus 1 by COP. So we will try to prove this formula. We know COP of a refrigerator is equals to refrigerating effect by work input, or that is equals to lower heat divided by higher heat minus lower heat. So COP is equals to, if I will bring this lower heat to the denominator, we will get 1 divided by Q higher by Q lower minus 1. Now Q higher is nothing but heat rejected across the condenser, QC, and Q lower is the refrigerating effect, minus 1. So COP is equals to 1 divided by QC by RE. We know that QC by RE is our heat rejection ratio. Heat rejection ratio minus 1. Now taking inverse of COP, we will get heat rejection ratio minus 1, or heat rejection ratio is equals to 1 plus 1 by COP. So heat rejection ratio formula is 1 plus 1 by COP. Next, we'll derive coefficient of performance for a compression and expansion processes when it follows PV power n equals to constant. Sometimes the compression and expansion processes takes place according to the law PV power n equals to constant. In such a case, the COP is obtained from the fundamentals we'll discuss below. Let us draw PV and TS diagram for our reverse Brayton cycle. Isentropic compression 1 to 2, 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat rejection, 3 to 4 is isentropic expansion, and 4 to 1 is constant pressure heat addition. Similarly, 1 to 2 is isentropic compression in PV diagram. This is PV plot 1 to 2, and 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat rejection process where P2 equals to P3. 3 to 4 is our isentropic expansion process, and 4 to 1 is our constant pressure heat addition process. Here pressure P1 is equals to P4, and 1 to 2 is isentropic, so S1 equals to S2, and 3 to 4 is also isentropic, so S3 equals to S4. So here what happens, earlier we have derived formula for COP when the compression process and expansion process were isentropic, that means adiabatic, reversible adiabatic. That reversible adiabatic followed the law PV power gamma equals to constant. But what if these two processes follow the law PV power n equals to constant, that is polytropic process? Suppose 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 are polytropic process, then what will be the COP? We know work done by the compressor will be, as 1 to 2 is compressor and it is an open cycle, so open cycle work will be equal to n times of closed cycle work. So work of compressor equals to n by n minus 1 into P2 V2 minus P1 V1, that is equals to n by n minus 1, taking R as common, we will get T2 minus T1. Similarly, work done by the expander here, both are following PV power n equals to constant law. Both the compressor and expander are following the law PV power n equals to constant. So it will be equal to n by n minus 1 P3 V3 minus P4 V4, replacing with R and T, and taking R as common, we will get n into n minus 1 into R into T3 minus T4. We require net work done. W net will be equal to work of compressor minus work of expander. So work of compressor is n by n minus 1 R T2 minus T1, and work of expander is n by n minus 1 into R T3 minus T4. Here n by n minus 1 R and n by n minus 1 R are common. So taking outside of the bracket, we will get T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. This is our net work done. The desired effect or refrigeration effect is 4:1 is our evaporator, or 4:1 is our refrigeration effect. So 4:1 will be our desired effect. So it will be H1 minus H4. As it is enthalpy, writing in terms of specific heat and temperature, it will be Cp into T1 minus T4. This is our desired effect or refrigeration effect. So we know COP is equals to desired effect by net work done. So Cp into T1 minus T4 divided by net work done n by n minus 1 into R into T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4 is our COP. Now we know gas constant is equals to Cp minus Cv. Taking Cv common, we will get Cp by Cv minus 1. And as we know Cp by Cv is gamma, we will get Cv into gamma minus 1. Replacing this term with R or gas constant, COP will be Cp into T1 minus T4 whole divided by n minus 1 into R is replaced by Cv into gamma minus 1 into whole T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. Now we know Cp by Cv is gamma. COP is equals to, replacing Cp by Cv with gamma, we will get gamma into T1 minus T4 whole divided by n minus 1 into gamma minus 1 into T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. So bringing gamma to the denominator, we will get COP is equals to T1 minus T4 divided by n minus 1 into gamma minus 1 by gamma into T2 minus T1 minus T3 minus T4. Now this formula is for compression and expansion when they follow the law PV power n equals to constant, that is polytropic process.